Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs, and today I have this heart-shaped love card to share with you. So let's jump right in. So this is because Valentine's Day is right around the corner from us, so I thought I'd do a couple of love cards. This could be sent to anybody. For me personally, I'd probably send it to one of my best friends, but you could of course give it to your partner as well if that was your preference. Chris and I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. We kind of just make an effort to show each other that we love each other all the time, so we don't really do anything necessarily special for Valentine's Day, but you could of course give this card to anybody that you love, really. So it could be your kids or your friends or your husband or your partner, whoever. So I chose to bring in my nested hearts dies. Now this should theoretically work with any nested heart die. I have a set that I've had for quite a while. I don't even know if you can still get them, but I'll list a nested heart set down below and you can check them out. And I just used the largest heart die for this. This is going to create my base. So I cut 2 hearts out of very sturdy white cardstock, and then I scored it at the top where I wanted the fold to be for the card. You could do this either way. You could kind of do it so it opened sideways or top. Excuse me. I chose to do from the top, just because I like that look, but either direction would look great. And then I brought in 2 pieces of HammerMill cardstock, which is my preferred cardstock to blend on because I wanted to blend in some colors. Now, obviously, I'm going to choose pink because I prefer pink over red, which is hilarious because I have red nails. But as a general rule, when I create, I do prefer the pinks to red. So I chose 3 colors of oxides to blend. I have Spun Sugar, Kitsch Flamingo, and Picked Raspberry, but you could do this ink blend with reds instead if you wanted to. There's no wrong color blend for this. I just chose pinks because I'm generally more drawn to them in my creating. And I blended them across the heart panel. We are going to cut the panel up, so it doesn't need to be a perfect blend. And really, you could do this with anything. If you wanted to do sprays instead with watercolor cardstock, that would work. Or if you wanted to like ink smoosh with your colors, that could work. Like, there's so many ways you could create a beautiful background with this, and it wouldn't matter because we're going to cut it up, so it doesn't need to be any kind of perfect. So really, you could add color any way you wanted to. Really, you could do this out of different shades of colored cardstock too. I mean, generally, if you guys have been with me for a while, you know I don't own a lot of pattern paper or hard colored cardstock because I tend to make my own. But if you had that instead, you could absolutely do this idea that way instead. This is just kind of how I wanted to do it. And then I wanted to bring in the Tim Holtz floral trims. I love this stamp set. This one especially, I use it pretty often. I've done quite a few cards with it now. And I'm going to stamp it in my Misti onto my heart. So I used one of the little pieces of cardstock that I cut the heart out of just to kind of give me a frame to hold my hearts so that I could easily stamp the same on both. So I'm going to stamp on the pink one first and then the white one, and then I'm going to put them back in and move my stamp. You're going to see that here in a minute when I kind of do that. And that's because of the technique I wanted to do. Now we're going to hit a bit of a problem here in a little bit because my die cutting was not quite, I'm going to say perfect, but it was off. You'll see when we get there. We're not there yet, but I did kind of have a little bit of a hiccup there. And so if you have any tips on an easier way to get it aligned, let me know, because I would love to have made this a little bit smoother, but it didn't pan that way. And not that it makes the card like ugly by any means, it doesn't. It just, I would have liked to have it be a little closer to where the stamping was. So I brought the stamp in on the other side of my Misti, and I have some stamp packaging underneath it so that the ink can't transfer while I decide where I want the stamp to actually sit. You could clean the stamp, but I'm lazy and I didn't want to. So I just used some stamp packaging to kind of move it around until I was happy. And then I will clean the stamp when I actually go to put it away, but I generally don't like to clean it while I'm actually still using it. I find it stamps better with some ink on it. So I kind of just rearranged the flower stamp to where I wanted it. And then I put my hearts back in and did the stamping again. Now I have a waffle flower, I don't know if it's called a sticky mat, under my cardstock. That's how I'm holding it. It's perfectly sized to fit in the Mistis. There was one for each Misti size as well. This is obviously the original one. And I have that linked and listed down below if you're at all interested. So you can go and check it out if you want to. It's been great for doing stamping on like longer pieces of stuff where I want to move the stamp around and whatnot. I found it to be like perfect for that. But You don't need it. You could use your magnet. Like there are ways around this. It just makes it way easier. So I've kind of been enjoying that. And then here is where I'm going to go wrong. So I also heat set these in between. I didn't show you that because I just quickly ran my heat gun over top. But I ran the heat gun over just to make sure that my ink was completely dry, especially on the Oxide blended piece, because it does take ink a bit longer to dry on top of the Oxide. And so I die cut my white heart, my white and black heart, and my dies didn't stay lined up where I wanted them. So because of that, I kind of wish I had done this as maybe a full panel and then cut my hearts from there instead of kind of cutting my hearts first. Although I don't know. I would play with this to come up with a better way to do this, but my tape didn't stay attached. And so I lined the die cuts back up the best that I could from eyeballing it. And it's not quite right. So when I go to kind of make my little heart segments, they don't actually line up. And it's not terribly noticeable. Like I called my husband in here and I'm like, what's wrong with this card? And he's like, I don't know. And he like pointed out random things and I'm like, well, that's not what's wrong, but I guess that's what's wrong now. But no, it's not terribly noticeable. Like you have to be really paying attention to see it, but I see it because I'm making it. So I am aware of the fact that they don't quite line up perfectly, but that's not going to deter me because I've already put time into this. So we're just going to keep going ahead and the card's going to turn out pretty in the end. But I was a little bit frustrated that I couldn't get that to line up. So I'll have to come up with a better way to kind of work with that. And then for my sentiment, I brought in the PinkFresh Julieta alphabet dies. I actually got these from scrapbook.com for free. They had them free with like an order of like $50 or something one day. Scrapbook.com does a lot of really great free things. It's a little bit shocking. Like this was a brand new alphabet die set and they were giving it away for free. And I think I got a magic mat with it as well for free. And like, I don't know, they give away some great stuff for free. So if you're ever in the market for something, like keep an eye on their website, as you can usually get some cool freebies. Like I pretty much never order unless they've got some kind of cool freebie going on. Just because crafty goods aren't inexpensive if you buy, the real branded ones. So, I kind of try to get some fun freebies, especially for me because I have to pay international money, like the exchange rate, and I have to pay shipping to Canada. So I tend to wait until they have some pretty cool freebies because they pretty much always do. Like I think it changes almost every week where you get a different freebie. So it's pretty neat that way. So if you're waiting to like try the magic mat, just wait until they have one for free. I got a new one for free, I think at Christmas, and I haven't busted it out yet because I don't need to yet, but it's just that kind of stuff, like just wait until I have something like that, and it's pretty great. And then I did off camera cut a third white heart just so I could adhere my heart pieces to it, just because I found that to be the easiest way to kind of put my heart back together. You could do it directly on the base, but I felt like this was just a smoother way to do it because I am kind of piecing these pieces together. And I chose to only make one of the heart cards. I mean, I have all the pieces to make a second card, so I absolutely could, but I kind of thought I would save those and maybe use them in a journal instead, just because I already have them. And I really want to bring in some more, I'm going to call it junk journaling, though I guess maybe it's not authentic junk journaling, art journaling, just journaling in general. I want to do more of that, and I thought I would save it for that because I just thought that would be kind of a fun element to bring in as just an extra on a page. So I just kind of set my stuff like that aside and I keep it. So I have all of my like alcohol ink backgrounds that I've cut pieces out of. I still save them just in case. I don't know if I'm going to want to use it later. So I just save all that kind of packaging and whatnot. I save packaging as well, sorry. So like Simon Says stamp kits came in that brown paper crafty envelope. I saved those because I was like, those are perfect for, pages of different things. So I don't hoard things necessarily, but I do save things that I think could be useful. So then I'm going to just adhere everything down. I put it down pretty flat. You could, of course, cut several layers and give your letters a little more dimension. I chose not to do that at this point. Honestly, I was a little bit frustrated. I had to walk away from this card because my images didn't line up. Now, I know that I walk around saying, perfection's overrated and unrealistic, and I get that, but every once in a while, I don't know, I get a little frustrated by something that I'm making because it didn't come together the way I saw it in my head. So to kind of distract from that, the letters went on top, obviously, because that's my little sentiment. And I did cut 2 of the smallest hearts in my nested heart set, which you can see me adhering here. And then I did also bring in some pearls just because, well, why not? It's a love card and I love pearls. And I think that pearls lean themselves really well to a more elegant look, I find. So I do tend towards them fairly often on my cards. And I did bring in foam tape for the actual heart going on top of the heart base. And you saw me adhere the heart base as well. So that's how the flaps worked to kind of create that shape. And thank you to everybody who reached out to me when I made that circle card, that really, really awkward circle card, like, I don't know, last year, and told me how to make a shaped base. And Marcy, because she actually sent me a circle base. This was awesome. But yeah, so it's a lot of fun. I have a PO box if you guys are ever interested. If you want to, send cards my direction or just talk at me, feel free. I do send things back. You have to give me a minute because it takes me a little while, but I always try really hard to, if you reach out and send something my direction, I like to send something back. So if you want to, I would love to be able to pen pal with everybody, but I just can't. I can't take on new pen pals at this time. But if you want to just reach out and send me a card or say hi, feel free. The PO box is listed in the description down below, and you can kind of send me a thing. Or I have a Happy Mail list as well, which you can join. There's a link for that in the description as well. So there's loads of ways to kind of come and be a part of the community and, reach out and talk to me in different ways. So feel free to do that. So that is the card I created for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to do a couple of love-themed cards for the next little bit since Valentine's Day is coming. But that is what I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos every Monday and Thursday. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.